Well, we now have a comprehensive report um, on the tactics of enhanced interrogation. And wow, um, wow. Uh, I knew we were doing waterboarding. I figured we'd be having loud music playing and stuff like that. Um, but uh, the torture methods were brutal on levels that haven't been seen since like the Nazis or the Japanese Empire. Um, I mean, these atrocities are. I'm really kind of lost for words because I mean, they're incredible. The report says that the Bush administration was basically lied to and they weren't made aware until 2006 about the full extent of what was happening, um, which would give saving grace to President Bush and Vice President Dick Cheney, Condoleezza Rice, and so on and so forth. Um, Except for the fact that in 2007, they came out and said Bush came out and said the United States is not torturing anybody. Now let's put this in perspective. Um, at one point, they broke a man's legs and forced him to stand on them for hours. I would call that torture. That's far in excess of waterboarding. I mean, I thought that this is way further in excess than I thought we were doing. Um, they were shoving, they were rectally feeding inmates, which of course there's absolutely no reason to do that. I mean, if you're going to force feed them, you put a tube in their mouth and you force feed them. That's how you get the nutrients in there. You don't shove a giant tube up a prisoner's ass and feed them that way. It doesn't, biologically, it doesn't work that way. Um, as a result, these prisoners' rectal cavities have been severely damaged. Their colons basically destroyed. Um, I mean, quite frankly, I don't see how Bush, Cheney, a lot of the people in that administration will not face war crimes charges and crimes against humanity. I mean, this report is so overwhelmingly shocking. I mean, I don't see how this could not happen. Um, wow. The fact. Okay. Think about this. So the Bush administration, Bush finds out. Bush and Cheney, or Cheney probably already knew all of this the whole time, but Bush finds out in 2006, according to this report. Um, he should have immediately started prosecuting people immediately, as he is constitutionally obliged to do under the U.S. Constitution and the treaties we signed. You know, the Nuremberg Tribunal, the Geneva Conventions. I'm sorry, Geneva Conventions treaty, and other treaties on human rights that we signed, including the treaty about never using torture, signed by Reagan. I think it was in '88. Well, anyhow, I'm gonna have a bunch of links below. I mean, this is just a dark day for. I mean, this is really bad. Yeah, they need to be tried. Well, they should be tried by our laws under our constitution. That's probably not going to happen. But quite frankly, they need to be put on trial for crimes against humanity. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about this. These were flagrant violations of human rights, war crimes. They were just unbelievable. And to top it all off, it didn't work. They didn't get any information that was useful. They were just butt raping, hundreds of people, including innocent. Like, they actually did it to a bunch of our own informants. So people that were serving the CIA, they did it to them, and then they're like, "Oh, whoops. Well, we didn't mean to do it to that guy." And some of these torture practices were so, like, well, I mean, obviously breaking somebody's leg and forcing them to stand on it for hours is it's unbelievable. But, like, even the torturers, the people doing the torture were like, "I can't believe we're doing this." Like, some of them actually started to cry, inflicting this level of malice on. I mean, like, wow, like, what the hell could like, how could I don't know, like, wow, because those torturers, the people that committed this torture, were brought up in a democratic society. They weren't serving, the Third Reich. They weren't serving an ideology of, like, Nazism or something like that. They were supposedly serving in defense of the constitutional republic, of the rights guaranteed by the Constitution. I assume, swore an oath to the Constitution. And there's a line in that oath that, you will defend the Constitution from enemies foreign and domestic. Well, quite frankly, these people are domestic enemies. They're enemies of the Constitution. So anyhow, I'm going to be leaving links below for a bunch of stuff. YouTube videos from some folk online, actual articles. I think I'll also put the Truth Loader thing down there. They claim that apparently that Colin Powell was kept in complete dark of all of this, because if he had found out, Colin Powell would have flipped a shit and would have done something about this. So, which means, I kind of feel sad for Colin Powell, because more and more stuff coming out basically shows that he was just a puppet. He had no idea what was going on, and he just constantly got lied to. I will put that Truth Loader video down there too, in the thingamajig down there below. Yeah, this revelation is heinous. It's just bad. Bye.